Welcome, everybody, to our tarot night. If you were here last year, you'll notice this one's really fun. This is kind of a homebrew system, really, but in it's also not really a system because what Psychic's going to do here, basically, as we tell this story, is going to be reading the tarot cards, and that's going to determine the outcomes of the actions and everything. So there's no dice rolls in this. This is just purely RP with some interpretation of the tarot cards. I am not going to be here for this little bit. I'm just doing a little introduction, and then I'll be handing it over, and you won't have to look at my face for the next 2 hours or something. So,
Yay!
yay! I know, I know, I
Goody.
know. Hello,
Yes, this is
Cat.
Standy. She's an absolute menace. She is almost 6 months old.
She's an unofficial streamer with us. But with that,
Yeah.
everybody, I am going to say good night. I might be back at the end to say goodbye, but for now, I'm going to shut up, hand it over to Psychic, and say, enjoy your game, everybody.
Oh, Lord.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, hello everybody. Welcome
Good
to
evening.
a night of psychological torture and mental fortitude gone wrong. Are we excited to be thrown in the deep end of humanity's greatest fears and how we interpret them? I'm talking it up. I promise it's not actually it probably won't actually be that bad. But yes, hello. So,
I'm wearing my
am
Magnus
a-
Archives t-shirt. Of course I am.
Beautiful. So I am a psychic. I've been working as a practicing psychic for about 8 years now. Essentially, I like to call it unlicensed therapy because that's all it fucking is. But essentially, what happens is I will be using a regular deck of tarot cards. The tarot is set up of 78 cards set into the minor and the major arcana. The major arcana is the one with the pictures on it, and the minor arcana are the ones with the numbers on it. So essentially what this is this time around, if anybody was here last year, I did it with Wolf, Killer, Jannsik, and Ravenok. And essentially what had happened is this time is going to be a little bit different. So I'm still reading our lovely people. We have Epsilon, we have Arthur, and we have Lady Vengeance. So welcome, my new victims.
Hello.
But welcome
Hi.
to tarot and welcome to what is the worst side of it. So a quick rundown on rules. This is a no dice system. This system is primarily and only going to be run using you guys as RP and players and the tarot deck. The tarot deck is going to be the one driving the force. It isn't even going to be half creative on my side. It is the cards that tell the story. As players in this system, you all have 4 sanity points. The sanity points come under essentially what is the main senses of being human, which means the spirit, the science, the senses, and the strength. Using these points, you only get 1. You can essentially erase your card from that round of sequence of events and essentially guarantee yourself to get through to the next round. While I use rounds as that, the rounds essentially just means what cards are pulled at this time. We're still telling a story. We're still telling a cohesive idea of what's going on, but you can use that point to essentially say, okay, look, yeah, no, fuck the cards. I want to live. So you say, fuck the cards, we get rid of that one, and we move on to the next round. That doesn't take you out of the story. You're still here. You're still part of the story. You're still telling a story. It just means that you are not affected by what will come through. Another rule that I have, because essentially I am reading you guys for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, is I've said this before we started, but if there is any topic or any idea that comes up and you're like, I don't feel comfortable talking about this, I don't want to do it, let us know. We stop, we erase that card, we erase that scene, and we'll move you forward, okay? Now, I'm going to know if you're lying. That's literally my job. So if you feel like you're pulling a stud and I'm like, actually, you know what? Fuck you. We're going through it. But no, I'm usually pretty lenient. So if you do feel like, hey, I'm not comfortable right now, feel free to sit out of that round. If it extends to multiple rounds and you're like, hey, I'm not comfortable at all, you are more than welcome at any time to leave the call and we can take that out. Okay, so don't feel like you have to be here. You're just contractually obligated to be here. So there's a difference. But as we start, the first question I need to ask is anybody familiar with tarot?
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
Arthur's like,
intimately. I've been read before, but I haven't researched anything about it necessarily. I don't know the cards by heart.
Okay.
I don't
So
know
every
all of them.
psychic,
but yeah.
not everything.
No, not everything. I mostly just really enjoy the symbology of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Me too.
Alrighty, so each psychic is different. I am definitely not a traditional psychic, by any means. I do swear a lot in my readings, and it is quite fun. I have told people to get the fuck out of my store, and I have told people that they need to go see someone else. So I do not care. But the tarot deck does not hold back. If you need a deck, for anybody watching, if you need a deck in a reading and you want something to hold your hand, go to an oracle reader, not a tarot reader. Oracle is a lot more hand-holdy. But are we ready to begin the experience?
I'm ready.
Absolutely.
Yes?
Hell yeah.
Alrighty.
Also,
So-
Epsilon. I've seen so many like ghost hunter shows. I keep expecting to see someone in the doorway.
The bathroom.
Yeah.
You
It's very
might
creepy.
see my kitten jump on the counter in the background because that's where her food bowl is.
So if something goes flying off the counter.
I'll call on spirit to start walking past it. No, I'm kidding. So, as we have established at the start, while normally in a reading I do read the name, we are doing usernames, except for Arthur. You're screwed. Essentially put, the only connection that the three of you have is that the three of you start here waking up in a very damp and dark room. In this room, while small and clearing your eyes, your vision starts to clear and you can see that there are a couple of candles around the place. It's very damp, it's very moist, it's very yuck. At the same time, you can't smell anything weird, you can't smell anything off, it just smells damp. As you awaken, you find that the three of you are being sat in these chairs. The only memory that you guys all have is that the three of you are good friends, and the three of you went to a haunted house at the local haunt. You thought it would be a fun experience, get into the Halloween feel, but as you've gone through, you notice that the three of you were stopped, you were bagged, and you were taken. The three of you are now waking in this room, and how are we feeling? What's going through your minds?
Are we bound to the chairs, or are we free to
Are you?
move? Hmm.
The second part of the tarot is that you make the story.
Mhm.
I react to it.
Mhm.
You're following
think we're
directives, but you are not following orders, so to speak. So what is going through your mind? Are you bound? Are you free? Doors are
I
closed.
think that's
There's no window.
the first thought is like, are we stuck? Can we get up? And so I try to stand and find that I at least am not bound to this chair.
Okay.
And I stand and look to my fellow compatriots, my fellow haunted housegoers. And,
Alright.
is
Epsilon
this
vengeance.
like part of the experience?
Watching
Okay.
the nervousness on his face.
Which one of us is going to get murdered first?
Is this like
Not me, I hope.
actually just straight up a front for some kind of like trafficking or something? Like,
Oh,
like I'm
I hope not.
I'm from a city where that is like well
Spirits in
known
the
as a
background.
major hub for trafficking.
It's a full body apparition.
I have called upon my dead mother, who is very much alive.
Your dead mother who is also alive.
No, We have
Does
a
that
we have a
mean she's
wedding
a
to go
zombie?
to. We have a wedding to go to this weekend, so she's going to get her hair and nails done and that.
Oh, nice.
Lovely.
But yeah, so aside from spirit walking in and scaring, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, so what's been happening? I was only gone for a minute. It wouldn't be a psychic stream without something fucking happening. Alrighty. So Arthur stood up. Vengeance is asked who's going to get killed first. Epsilon asks if this is a front for something.
I'm gonna start looking around the room.
Alrighty. As you look around the room, you notice that it is quite bare bones. There are a couple of loose tiles on the ground. There's a couple of loose tiles along the wall, but you notice that that grimy white stains is covering all four walls. The ground is a little bit slippery from it being so damp on tile, and the roof itself isn't there. It is just a black void above you. As you're looking up, you can start to see this effect, this kind of a sense of longing, so to speak, looking into the darkness and hoping that it doesn't look back. We are going to begin round 1. As the three of you start to look up, you all see that swirl, that longing starts to hit Arthur with the first card, Vengeance with the second card, and Epsilon with the third card. As the three of you start to look up, the first thing that people notice is it starts to shift and it starts to change. The darkness feeling like it's coming down towards the three of you. While standing there watching it, the walls start to erode and decay. The ground beneath you starts to shift and almost feel like you're falling slightly. Vengeance, your first thought isn't of disgust, isn't of unhappiness, isn't of anything. Your first thought is more of home. Being happy in that darkness, being alone in what we consider to be a quiet place, somewhere where we can concentrate, somewhere where we can be happy in ourselves, but not necessarily want to be contacted, being told to do things. The darkness is almost welcoming in the sense of you start to feel your body begin to almost shrink into its own little ball. As it starts to fall down, you're the first one that starts to notice that it doesn't feel unwelcoming anymore. While that did feel right at first, it doesn't feel that way anymore. Arthur and Epsilon, you two have a very different experience. As it starts to come down on top of you, Epsilon, you start to watch as the world starts to explode into this array of colors, into this array of senses of feelings. As this world starts to expand, you watch as planets are created and almost like you're witnessing the Big Bang itself. As you're watching all of these things, you start to notice few things are sticking around you though. You notice that there are a couple of familiar feelings. There is a large white planet very close to you, and there is also this very dark expanse of a void behind it, almost like a light in the darkness. While this light is here and it's starting to come back towards you as everything is pulled back in, you notice that everything beyond that planet is completely gone. That darkness is gone, that void is gone, the colors, the senses, and that feeling of just absolute openness has turned into a feeling of absolute void. All you have left is this one light that you have been holding on to for a long time, or what feels like a long time. As far as you're concerned, you've only been in this room for a couple of minutes, we think. But this planet, this white light that you have, is the only thing that we currently hold on to that makes it feel like it's a worthwhile experience to still be around. Arthur, with the Three of Cups, your card, you'll realize you're the only one I've said the card for so far. The Three of Cups isn't a negative card, but it is an existential card. The Three of Cups represents two things. It represents the idea that we aren't just alone, but we do have choices. And this comes into your feeling. You have watched as your two friends have experienced two very different experiences. With Epsilon, you've watched her open this world, feel this light in this void. Whereas with Vengeance, you've seen the opposite. You've seen her almost curl into the darkness like it's comfortable. You've seen her be able to come into this like it's something that you want. Arthur, the Three of Cups represents a choice. And it represents the choice of something that we want to do that maybe we shouldn't, or maybe something we shouldn't do where temptation brings us into it. Arthur, the choice for you today is, are you going to be pulling Vengeance out of the darkness, or are you going to pull Epsilon out of the light?
I must choose one.
You have to choose one. Or you could use a sanity point and avoid it completely. Who knows? But do you want to use it straight away? Who knows what else could happen?
Lord.
Also, loving the chat that they're like, yeah, Epsilon just took LSD.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Literally, like I said, is this a front for something? And now I'm fucking
Yeah.
tripping.
And you're like, drugs.
It's a front for drugs. They gave me all of the drugs.
Can I use my spirit to hold faith with my friends that they are strong enough to get through whatever trial they may face, that while I might feel like my help is necessary, I don't know the consequences of interfering with their life. The unknown, unforeseen. As much as I would have good intentions, there's no guarantee that I would make a positive impact by interfering. And I think it would serve them better if I stand by them and believe that they are strong enough to see themselves through this.
In using your spirit and that faith that you have in your friends, your card has been pulled, your point has been used. So you are now left with only 3 sanity points left. Now, Vengeance, you feel this warmth still coming from the darkness, but you also remember that even in the darkest of night, there is always a light. And as you lift your head up and you look towards yourself, you see that Epsilon is there next to you. The closeness between the both of you start to almost manifest this feeling of strength between the two of you, as no matter how dark the night is, the sun always rises, and no matter how bright things seem, there is always something to balance it. And we put the 2 cards in, and we start to talk about what happens in between. Our first experience being an interesting one. A point has already been used. And you 3 watch as the door appears. Wasn't there before. It appears in the wall. You watch it open and you see this very frail, older looking gentleman who the 3 of you realize from newspaper articles from way back in the day. His name was Morello, and he was the gentleman that was the psychic from the first game that had essentially killed Wolfkin's character and had sent the other 3 on a trip. He stands there and watches the 3 of you, and you can all see this very crooked smile, the missing teeth, the very traditionally scary old man archetype in horror and Halloween. We're not even going to try to be too spooky. Y'all know what you're in for. As the 3 of you watch him, he proceeds to hold out a hand as the door is open. As we begin round 2, do you take the hand?
I remember reading about this guy in the news. This seems, I don't know. What do you guys think?
This is a front. This was 100% a front for something.
You just had some kind of an experience, so
This is
I believe that.
100% a front for something.
Bad juju.
No. No, that's
But
a
is it
creepy
worse
old
for us
man.
to refuse? Like, I feel like we're stuck here. What else could we do? Can we make our own door somewhere else?
So far.
But there's a door. There's a door.
The
Some
door
Kingdom Hearts
is
shit.
the door is always open for those who wish to walk the path. They say enlightenment is a journey, but how bright
Are we able
before
to
darkness takes
walk
over.
towards the light
Yeah,
instead?
do you just want to walk towards the light instead? Remember, y'all make this. I react to you.
Is this a metaphor? Is this purgatory?
Hey, it could be. Are you dead yet?
Is this the
know.
afterlife? God?
No, literally, that is what the character of Epsilon is saying.
Alrighty.
Oh, seems like we have to make a choice. Do we take the guidance, whatever may come, or do we go it
Take
on
the
our own?
guidance of a man that's 100% killed people? No! Are you fucking
Well-
insane?
What do we find
I would
out?
like to head towards the light.
Vengeance going towards the
Mhm.
light. Epsilon Arthur, are you joining her?
Can I just like look at this guy and I'll be like, can I just like go out that door that's behind you?
You see, as you asking him, he just kind of holds his head up and he just does a little.
Nope. Nope.
I'm sure it's
Nope.
fine.
Men.
Men!
Choose the bear.
Choose the
Choose the bear.
Arthur, are you
Well-
joining your friends in the light or are you walking the unknown path?
I'm torn.
Already thinking so hard about this.
I'm
Don't worry,
torn.
it'll
I
get worse.
want to stay close to my friends, especially in this unfamiliar territory.
LSD trip of a world.
But my curiosity.
You are the 9-year-old, and the man with the white van has said, "I have candy in my van," and you said, "Fuck yeah."
All right. You're right.
2025,
You've
it's
got a
free
point. I'm
Wi-Fi.
going with my friends. I'm going with my friends.
Alrighty. As the
I'm
three
not
of you take
gonna tell you not to do things. Like, you do whatever the fuck you want, but I do want to make sure we understand what I feel like is happening here.
Alrighty. As the three of you step away from Morello, you watch as his smile turns into a frown. You watch as he retracts his hand. You see that he steps back and he closes the door behind him. The door pulling apart to turn back into that tiled wall that we had before. As the three of you turn instead to face the light. The light
Ew.
coming from the source that what Epsilon had earlier. As the ball starts to animate and it starts to show itself. The three of you watch as this turns into this almost decrepit four-legged creature as it starts to almost skitter away from the three of you. But no matter how far away it goes, the light is always there and it always looks close. The three of you now also notice that the wall behind you, obviously gone. The roof above you is still gone, but everything else is still there. The choice being made of walking into the light and staying out of the darkness. With the three of you moving forward, you shift and change. As you step forward, the walls behind you begin to vanish, and the floor beneath you begins to melt. As the three of you are walking forwards, almost feeling like your feet are now caught in quicksand as you're trying to pull your feet out of everything that you grew. Everything that you grew, that wasn't even on purpose, and it was hilarious.
Everything that you do.
Everything that you grew. As you start to move forward, the three of you watch as a card is thrown into the sand in front of you. As we begin round 2 with Vengeance first. Then we have Epsilon. And then we have Arthur. As the 3 cards are pulled forward, and you barely get a choice as they flip up in front of you. Epsilon, your feet start to free themselves, and you begin to run, almost forgetting your friends behind you as you just run as far as you can. There is a sense of guilt, in a sense, of leaving them behind, but at the same time, survival matters more than anything else. If we can find somebody, we can get them out as well. However, that starts to weigh heavily on you. That survival that we push for, our freedom in a sense, as you run, you notice that even though they're getting further away from you, you're not getting any closer to the creature in front of you. You see as your friends getting further away leaves you isolated. It leaves you alone. And it leaves you without anything around you. That void and emptiness starts to creep in a little bit. You remember that you're in this with the 3 of you. You don't know where you are. You don't know how you got here. And yet one of your first thoughts was to run. Whilst running and escaping the situation, you do feel a sense of light. You do feel a sense of weightlessness. And as you do, you start to feel yourself be pulled into this void, into this swirling nothingness underneath you, as the 2 of you watch as Epsilon disappears briefly.
Oh.
Oh no! While the 2 of you are watching Epsilon disappear at first, let's start with Vengeance. Vengeance, you're the first one to react. You're the first one to really take notice of the fact that, as far as you're concerned, she's left. But she also wasn't affected by this same feeling around your feet. She wasn't affected by the same sinking feeling that the 2 of you are now feeling. Whilst you're watching this melted ground without a real term for it, you're watching it slowly start to come up your legs. You're feeling it slowly start to harden around you. And you start to get this sense of being stuck both in your physical presence and yet in your mind as well. The card for you is the first wand, the One of Wands. And this sense of stuck, this sense of feeling, this sense of not knowing what's going to come first, what's going to come second, it starts to freeze us a little bit. It starts to make you feel like you're not quite ready or not quite wanting to go forward just yet, because we're not ready. We're not quite there yet. And then with Arthur, your card, the 4 of Cups. Great that we have another Cups card. However, the 4 of Cups isn't exactly a great one. The 4 of Cups represents that duality of good and evil. It represents that duality and moral obligation that the grey area kind of intrigues humanity with. There is no such thing as entirely good and entirely bad, but there is also no such thing as completely neutral. With the 4 of Cups, you do get another choice. However, both of your choices are taken away from you. While the 4 of Cups does represent the grey matter, the grey area of being able to make what is good and evil, the downside to that is that the good is gone and the evil is stuck. The 4 of Cups coming in for you starts to give you the same feeling. However, you're sinking and being pulled deeper in. Whilst Vengeance is basically being petrified from the feet up, you're also being sucked into this almost whirlpool of melted tiles, of melted nothingness. And as you start to get pulled down further, you start to rise and be a point of almost coming into a different reality. In the sense of Vengeance, you're seeing Arthur be pulled down, but Arthur, you're seeing yourself rise up.
What is
How do
this
you-
House of Leaves shit?
Arthur, are you okay?
I Don't know.
I became Jesus and now I'm gone.
Oh,
I started running on liquid and now I'm gone.
are you?
Give me 3
You
days.
can still hear me? Are you? Wait,
3
am
days.
Certified business days. I'll pop up again.
Can I still hear
UPS
him?
will just
I was just
throw
this.
around.
This was just me doing a commentary because I had to get out the Jesus bit before the thought came out of my brain entirely.
You are forgiven.
Can
my
I still
child.
hear them?
No.
Sorry.
So Vengeance, you
Can
can
I
see
hear them,
Arthur, but
though?
Arthur, you can't see them. Epsilon, you can't hear or see either of them. You've run.
Okay, sweet. Okay. The Jesus comment was just for the chat.
Am I the only one here? Hello? Where did my
you
friends
can
go?
see him.
I can't see him anymore.
You can see him. You can hear him.
Okay.
He can't see you, but he can hear you.
Are you afraid? Are you in danger?
I don't think so. I'm just confused, I guess. I'm not sure where I am. What happened?
Epsilon,
Hmm.
whilst falling through the void, you can feel yourself in a free fall. You can feel your hair whipping against your face and against what is non-existent wind as you are just plummeting.
Good to know the laws of physics still fucking work in this hell dimension.
As you fall, you start to watch as these feelings start to manifest both in you and around you. This feeling of emptiness and hollowness. Clearly, we're in the middle of fucking nowhere. But you also have this feeling of regret. You have this feeling of pain. And you have this feeling that whilst we're not quite done, I am a little over it. And that's not talking about the experience. Whilst we're falling, a lot of these thoughts are in your mind. Where's the bottom? Why am I still here? Where are we? What's going on? At one point, you do have a fleeting memory of your friends. You still see them kind of tripping and falling. And as you start to fall, you see the two of them. I'm going to give you a choice.
Oh.
And if you haven't sensed the theme of this yet, hi. You're giving a choice. You can continue to fall. You can continue to invade the emptiness that is beneath you. And you will be forced to give up 1 sanity point. Or you can choose to use a sanity point, and you can save one of them. The other will be forced to use a sanity point.
So we are in danger.
In this world, honey, we're always in danger.
Okay.
So either I take one for the team, or I pick who else that isn't me takes one for the team.
Yeah. So either you lose a point, or you pick someone to lose a point. At the end of the day, someone's losing something.
I think definitely that little bit of like, I think you said guilt or something starts to come back where it's like, oh god, I ran. I fucked it. It's my consequences of my actions. I can't let somebody else get hurt by that. So I'll take the L. I am taking the L.
Whilst falling and you see your two friends are there, you reach out to them, obviously. You've known them for a long time. You've been around them for a long time. You wouldn't leave them without a good enough reason, but in this reality, there is no such thing as a good reason, only our own selfish actions. And while the card that you had was the High Priestess, known to be one of the most powerful cards in the deck, it also comes with a abhorrent downside, being that it is also the most secretive. And while your actions are never shown to be good or bad, and you keep your secrets close to your chest, at the end of the day, you still have power. And that's what the High Priestess represents, is the power of being able to make your own decisions at the behest of other people, regardless of whether they know what your action is or not. And that comes into it now. As you start to feel yourself slow, you start to feel yourself be laid gently on what you feel to be a perfectly flat surface, even though it doesn't change what you've been falling through. Vengeance and Arthur, you two feel yourself start to be almost pushed back out of the feeling that you're in. Vengeance, you start to feel as your feet get lighter, they're not as stuck anymore, and you feel the ground solidify underneath you. Vengeance, you're pushed back out again next to Vengeance. You can see her, you can hear her, and the two of you watch as Epsilon materializes in front of you, almost being placed there by another entity as this light creature starts to walk towards the three of you. With the three of you becoming into this situation, it is just an empty void around you, with nothing but this white creature and your friends. So instead of asking how you would react to things, I'm going to ask something different. What world do you create around you?
I have a question for you first. Is the spooky man still here?
Oh no, he left. He closed the door and fucked off.
Okay,
Y'all
good
chose
shit.
to lie, remember?
Yeah, okay. I wanted to make sure he wasn't going to be like, that was a bad decision. Now I'm going to become a serial killer and murder you all. He was just like,
No,
all right,
it's
cool.
just,
You don't want to play
it's
it?
just
That's fine.
Skull Kid.
Bye.
It's just Skull Kid from Zelda asking you that, no, it was the Happy Master Salesman that you've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?
It's the
But-
fucking demon from, it's fucking Lev and Void Stranger.
What world do you create around you? Do you create one of warmth? Do you create a home? Do you create a place that you've always wanted to go to? Vengeance, I can see your mind ticking. Very meticulous and very thoughtful person. But there's that little bit of sense of almost curiosity in what if I do this? But what if I do that? You want to create something warm, you want to create something nice, but that curiosity also makes you want to think of something darker, something more fun.
Yes. That was my first thought I thought it was almost too good to be true, the whole creating somewhere warm and comfy and cozy. I thought that was too good to be true. And then I was thinking, since we kind of fell, did we fall? I was thinking
You two didn't.
there
Epsilon
It-
fell for a
it's-
while.
it seems in this like weird, surreal dreamscape situation that there should be a staircase somewhere.
Okay.
Instead of
Santorini
stairs
Greece.
going up.
Okay. The three of you are looking around in this emptiness, this void. Vengeance, you're the only one that has some sense of direction. You've only ran in one direction, and that's away from the room. Even turning behind you, the room not being there. As you turn back, the three of you are going to watch as this very large open staircase appears in front of you. Arthur, what is this world to you? What are we creating? The staircase stays, but what else? As I shuffled cards ominously.
This speaks to me of infinity and possibility. And what more could we fill it with than that with... What more could we fill it with than that which we already have? What more is there than that which already is?
Okay, you with this,
Okay,
Socrates?
he's gone off the goddamn deep end.
The world as we know it is.
Arthur is the first person to lose it.
Existential.
Everyone's like, all right, my friend just got replaced by
By
fucking
them.
yeah.
We're trying to keep our
Join
sanity,
us.
and he chose
Join
insanity.
us.
More like the not them. The Magnus
what else is in
Archives
this world?
has a whole thing of very convincing doppelgangers that they call the not them.
So what's in this world, Arthur? What are you adding to this world? We have a very large staircase going on. What else are you adding to this world?
Life. Greenery, trees, grass, plants, flowers. An explosion of life around us,
All right.
bringing
Well, the three of you
color.
now watching this staircase. The three of you watch that it starts to become overgrown. It starts to grow moss. It starts to have plants start to crack through. While still there, you watch as the moss starts to almost cascade like a waterfall down. And as soon as it hits the bottom to where your feet are, you watch as it expands and, as you said, explodes into life. You watch the ground around you turn into this very almost pleasant grass. You see as it starts to roll over hills, you see that it starts to dip into these divots. And you watch as it continues to go, trees and flowers appearing. You watch as everything starts to become open and with a little bit of greenery and a little bit of light, a little bit of color, things start to feel a little better. So in this green world, with this giant staircase, Epsilon, what are you adding into this world?
I'm not gonna lie, when you said giant staircase and then also nice places, I was thinking about Santorini, Greece, which is like the port there is basically it's a giant staircase to get from the port where you go in off of a ship to the city proper.
So what part are you adding? Or are you putting
Probably-
yourselves in Greece?
Probably the city at the top of a city at the top of the stairs, but it's like quaint and the buildings are
Alright.
like Greek art, white, like Greek architecture.
Marble
The three of you
pillars.
start to watch as the city appears from nothing. You had the moss and the greenery cascading down, and you watch as the stones themselves start to flip on the stairs as it rolls up. It starts to open into this stone city. It starts to open into this living, breathing place. And there's almost a sense of understanding, this sense of homely feelings, and this sense of humanity that comes from the void. But the real question is,
Also cats.
are we following our choices? Or what are you doing? Do you walk up the stairs? Do you explore the rolling hills? Or do you decide to go for a day trip in a city? Where are we going?
The city is at the top of the stairs, right?
That's true.
So I'm going there.
Yeah.
Going to the city?
If it's anything like Santorini, there will be cats everywhere, and they will be very lovely.
There are thousands of void creatures. No, I'm kidding.
They're all no. If
excited?
anything, they're well, actually no. Cats are void creatures. I don't know what am I even saying? Cats are void creatures.
Sorry.
I have
They're just wandering
I have
around
two of
knocking
them.
glasses of water off of shelves and stuff.
So, we have chosen the city. The city at the top of the stairs after cascading down the moss. As we take the first step onto the stairs and we take our first steps going up, Vengeance, you start to feel this prickly feeling. You start to feel as your legs start to hurt a little bit as you start walking up these stairs. By the time you reach the top of them, I'm going to ask you to pick a sanity point to lose. because we didn't pick your choice. Arthur, the greenery around you starts to die, the plants start to wilt, and the hills begin to flatten out back into nothingness. And you also are going to choose a sanity point to lose because we didn't choose your choice. However, with Epsilon, as we walk up the steps, you watch as the grass dies, the stairs change, and as you reach the top, you notice that the city is empty, but it is a city. And we have chosen yours, so you don't have to lose anything. However, that does come with its own feeling, that own feeling of, again, the guilt that still hits. Making choices for other people, regardless of whether we know what the outcome's going to be, does tend to weigh on a lot of people's minds. However, all we said was the city. We gave a description of what we wanted the city to look like. However, we don't care about that. All we care about is the city. Whilst walking through the city, we're going to start to feel a lot more dread with the three of you. You guys have experienced a lot in a short time, being taken out of a haunt, waking up in a room. You've experienced the emptiness of nothing. You've experienced the void, and you've also experienced the duality of making choices, whether they're right or wrong. However, Vengeance, you don't get to make a lot of the choices. You act on logic. You act on what you can hear, see, taste, touch, smell. A very scientific and methodical person. And Epsilon's the same. Epsilon is also a very scientific person. You act on your senses and what you can hear, see, taste, touch, and smell. Arthur's the only one that has a little bit more, let's use the term, artificial whimsy, so to speak. The only one who, well, yes, we can rely on what we want. We can rely on what we want, but where's the fun in that? What is mundane and what is monotonous can't always be entertaining. And as we start to walk through the city, we start to watch as Arthur starts taking different paths. Arthur starts to feel a little bit boring to the both of you, but in the sense of he's just not paying attention. As far as the two of you are concerned, you're still trapped in this situation. Arthur seems like he's almost enjoying it, having fun with it. How do we feel about that?
I think I would say, call out to Arthur and say, this is all very interesting, but I feel like we should be trying to find a way back to reality.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, that was all I had.
This is reality. We create reality. I could open the door right now if you want to go home.
Did
like
you
we
take
all have
some
that
of the
power.
drugs that they definitely gave me earlier? Are you fucking insane?
I'm sipping the sauce, you know.
He's drinking the Kool-Aid.
Christ.
Sorry, I might be having a little too much fun with this. Yeah, no, it's like the door. You can open the door. Any of us could. We're not trapped.
There are many
Believe
doors
that much.
through the buildings walking around the city.
I'm gonna open a random one.
Opening a random
Prove
door?
a point. Yeah.
Okay, Arthur and Epsilon are opening a door of vengeance. What are you doing?
I'm trying to prove a point to him to be like, no, no, the fuck you can't. If it was that easy, we wouldn't still be here.
Unless we want to be here.
Well, I feel like I'm looking around And I still
Mhm.
think that we should be trying to find a way, even though I find this whole situation fascinating, I do feel like we should be trying to find a way back. So I feel like I would be really like taking in the environment and seeing, like, I guess using my senses
Mhm.
to
So, would
to
you like
investigate
to use
and
the point to
figure out a
skip
way
this round?
forward.
So, would you
Yes.
like to use a point to skip this round? All right. Please pick a point. You have already explained how you're going to use this point to skip this round. However, in opening doors, Arthur and Epsilon, you two still get cards.
Hell yeah.
The first card and the second card. The best part is, here's the interesting part with tarot. These two cards have already appeared. These two cards have already been used. However, Arthur, you're the only one that gets the same card you already have had, which is the Four of Cups. Epsilon, you're the one that gets the One of Wands, the first wand card, which, as we
Oh.
remember, Vengeance had not long ago. Epsilon, in trying to prove a point, you open a door, and it opens to the ocean. You can see as you open this door to try to prove this point, in an essence, you have proven a point that these doors open into anything that we could think of. But you've also proven a point that it is completely hopeless. It is completely useless to do so. In opening this door, you place your hand and you start to feel the waves of the ocean. You start to feel the crashing of the waves on the sand. You start to feel this dread that comes from the absolute vastness that is 70% of this fucking planet. But at the same time, you also feel
I
this
fucking
sense
hate
of
the ocean.
you also feel this sense of accomplishment in that you've proven your point. You've 100% proven that you can open a door and it is whatever. There is no such thing as a paradise on the other side. However, in opening into the ocean, you have also opened into one of the many deep fears of humanity, and that is emptiness, and that is depth. And what I mean
It
by
is the
that is that in
vast.
opening, exactly, the vast emptiness of being stuck. Being stuck in a situation that you have no real sense of being able to get out of, having no real sense of being able to push through something, and having no real sense of making a decision. In a sense of, you've also proven a point, you're fine. However, with the Four of Cups, if we had said Arthur earlier, the Four of Cups being the grey area, the no such thing as good and evil, the no such thing as true neutrality. And it also comes under the idea that at the end of the day, you also still need to make a decision. Epsilon, what sanity points do you have left? Because you're stuck, you can't make your decision. What have
I've
you got left?
lost. I think I only lost the one, right?
I don't remember, I'm
That
just
I
reading the
chose to
cards.
give up. Man, shit! I
You were
gotta
told
I
to
have mine
fucking.
choose
written
one
down.
point. You chose to give up one sanity point. You had your spirit, science, senses, and strength. And you chose to give up one of them so that they didn't have to.
I'm gonna have the one that I gave up be strength because fuck knows that I can't just explain my way how to stronk out of any other situation. So
Let's go.
That's
fucking
fair.
I am I am still disproportionate from 6 years of fencing in college.
Alrighty. Well, with the One of Wands comes in being that feeling of being stuck, that feeling of being almost staying in one place. But with Arthur getting the Four of Cups and having that choice and that neutrality, Arthur, to save your friend, you can either give up one of yours or you can choose which one of theirs to lose. But also keeping in reality, you're a part of this. You've created this world just as much as everybody else. So then the decision falls onto you of, obviously, A, whether you want to lose a point or whether Epsilon loses a point. B, whether you even want to make that decision. You're creating this world. she's trying to prove a point against you. But how does that react in your mind? How do you feel in that situation of someone going against what you think? Being able to prove it, but at the same time of their own volition. Part of that goes against how we feel as a person. We like to come up with all of these unique and creative scenarios. We like to come up with all of these great ideas, but at the end of the day, you have no real control over somebody else's actions, and you have no real control over somebody else's thoughts and processes. And sometimes that's annoying because sometimes you're right. But that doesn't matter to the rest of the world. Who cares if you're right, if you're not the one making the decision? But right now we do have a choice. Do you condemn Epsilon to lose another point?
Ow!
Or are you going to keep going with the cycle of letting other people deal with their own consequences that maybe you were correct about in the first place? How's that existential dread coming in?
This is my existential dread. Her name is Dandy.
Well, I think I will be the one to give up the point because I would never.
You're not
I would never
spiteful.
let my friends fall flat on their face just to salve my own ego. Yeah, I would give up my own point.
Alrighty, you're giving up one of your own points. Epsilon, while staring into this vast ocean and seeing all of these deep creatures, these creatures of the deep, haha, see what I did there?
Can I?
Mhm.
I would like to. In the point that I give up, I think it'll be my science to use like logic and reasoning, and I'll just approach Epsilon and take the handle of the door and kind of pull her back and close the door, and just
Okay.
like
Alright. As you pull the door close, you pull Epsilon away from the door. Epsilon, you feel your mind start to come back to your own body. You feel your body start to react a lot more. And while you were almost petrified and stuck in that sense of looking into the vast emptiness of what is the ocean, you start to feel your mind come back to you. You start to feel that there is a sense that somebody helped you in the same way that you helped them. But it also raises the point of how much of this has been your choice. You've made one choice that everyone followed, which is the city. And yet everything else that you've done so far, at the behest of everyone, has been at the detriment of you. Opening doors to prove points, escaping to try to find some help, but falling through and still being chosen. How are you feeling right now? Because there's a lot that has been out of your hands, even though you're someone that likes to be in the middle of it all.
I'm very mad that everything is out of my hands. Like, the second I have any kind of handle on something, it's yoinked away from me.
Mm-hmm. Arthur, how's that God complex going? Because at the end of the day, you've created a lot of what is happening. You've created a lot of the world, a lot of the expansive world. And yet you haven't made a single decision so far that has genuinely pushed everybody forward, aside from following a light that somebody else created. So how does that make you feel, knowing that the decisions that you make tend to not be fruitful for anybody but you, yet everybody still takes advantage of and uses for their own gain? Never a lot of credit for that. And yet it's still something that we need to continue doing, because as you said, you're not someone who's going to inflate your own ego. But at the same time, you're also not someone that's going to bring up a point if it, is against you. How are you feeling in that situation?
lonely.
Lonely.
Yes.
Vengeance. Sitting there waiting patiently with a smile on your face and pleasant surprises coming forth. Being a logical person can be fun. Being a whimsical person can be fun. And yet sometimes we have trouble distinguishing between the fantasy and the reality. In the sense of, you could have also opened a door, but you chose to use a sanity point to skip that part completely. You wanted to get out. You needed to get out. So then the question that I have for you is why? Everything is a why. Everything is a question that we need an answer for. But why do we need an answer for everything? Are there questions that we would be happy to leave unanswered? Or are we someone who strives to find an answer for everything and is then going to push others into an ideal that they may not follow? How are we feeling right now?
I feel like I made the choice that I did because I thought that it would help all of us. And I misunderstood, and which is very, very me, that I was trying to make the right decision to help everyone to get, I thought I would be able to bring us all forward. But I misunderstood the situation. And I'm frustrated.
The frustration, the anger, and the loneliness are the three feelings that we're going through. And as they start to pull ourselves into different directions, the emotions pulling us down further into the darkness that is the human psyche, we start to feel a sense of fullness and yet a sense of powerlessness. At the end of the day, no matter the feelings that we make, the feelings that we have and the choices that we make, regardless of whether they're for somebody else or whether they're for ourselves, whether they're to prove a point or to maybe even escape from reality, at the end of the day, no matter what we are as humans, we always need to make decisions for ourselves because our survival is that of above everybody else. So in these emotions, we begin the next round. I will ask before we pull cards this time if you would like to use a sanity point to skip it. If you
No,
have
I feel
any
like that's the cop out at this point.
left.
I'm gonna be the sanest fucking person by the end of this.
How many you got? 3 still? You got 3? Arthur's probably on 1. And Vengeance, you're good. No one's made you make a decision yet. No one's made you force yourself out. But you did choose to use a point yourself. Because you know you can't help yourself, but if you get the choice, you're going to be in control. So, nobody wants
I don't
to
want to
use a
skip
point
it.
this round?
No.
No? Arthur, you technically don't have a choice. So, for the funsies, I give a fuck what you think.
For the funsies.
For the
Fuck
funsies,
you.
fuck you. So, frustration, anger, and loneliness. Are we ready? How do these emotions truly get pulled into different situations? Epsilon was first with the anger.
Yay.
Arthur was second with the loneliness.
What is this? The fucking
And Vengeance
5-3
was
stages of grief.
with the frustration. We're going to start with Epsilon.
Yay.
You've been pulled away from the door. Your body starts to feel like you're more in control of it. That paralysis isn't there anymore. You watch as Arthur is the one that pulls you out. The same one that half disappeared. The same one that suggested the light. And the same one that has been making a lot of these decisions that, sure, you're benefiting from, in a sense. But at the same time, the only decision that you got to make was the city, and the city was empty. It wasn't what you wanted. So, as you're starting to feel yourself be pulled into this anger, into this annoyance, not frustration, because that annoyance starts to overcome that sense of everybody else has been able to do things, and yet the only decision you made was to either benefit everybody else by choosing yourself or being selfish and making them choose. You still haven't been able to do anything for everyone or yourself, in the sense of what you want to do is what's going to happen. Things start to brighten around you, but it also starts to turn this deep shade of blue. And whilst you're watching as everything starts to almost concord, that's not the word I'm looking for. It starts to shift, because fuck the word I was originally looking for. It starts to change. The walls start to flip, the ground starts to crack and open up, and you watch as all of the doors start to slam open. And you watch as all of these feelings start to come out. You watch as this kind of darkness creeps in. You watch as this light bursts forward to try and fight it. And you start to open yourself into this fight of what is right and what is wrong. This anger that we are feeling and this sense of what we need to do starts to overtake us in this battle of good and evil, in this battle of right and wrong, and in this battle of our friends. Because in our mind right now, we have had someone that has been the light, that has tried to help us, that has been helpful and pulled through. And then you also have that friend who has, in a sense, to you, kind of fucked you over, kind of screwed you over a little bit. And that's where your card comes into it. Because you have the star, and the star card represents hope. The star card represents being able to find a light in the darkness and being able to find darkness in the light, being able to balance ourselves out to be in a position where we can make a decision that benefits us in the hope that it's for the right reasons. So the question for you, Epsilon, is do we side with the light or do we side with the darkness? And I would be very careful with how we answer this question.
I don't know, both have fucked anybody over, so. Like, the light turned into a weird creature, ran the fuck away.
Mm-hmm.
But also, the dark turned me into Jesus and then sucked me into the upside down.
True.
Yes,
yeah,
I
but then
will
it barfed you
continue.
back out.
It was like,
It was fine.
Ew, gross, science. I hate
Numbers,
science. Numbers, gross.
So we're siding with the light,
Chicken
or are we
design.
siding with the darkness? How do you feel? Aside from the fact that you're trying to logic the fuck out of this situation, that's not going to help you. If everyone
I'm
looks
trying to
carefully, you
logic
can
the
see the
fuck out of
loading.
this.
You can see the loading simulator. Go ahead.
Just go with your gut, Epsilon. It's all about the emotion.
I don't know. I was gonna go light, and then psychic made me second guess it.
That is literally my job. But we're
I'm
also
gonna
going on
go
our
with-
instincts and what you think. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna go with the light, because it's like, I'm mad, but I feel like at this point, if I feel like what I tell, like, the best form of spiting someone is to be happy despite the shit that they've done to you. In my in my personal opinion, that is the best possible form of vengeance. So I'm going to pick the light, and I'm going to be like, yeah, this is gonna be a good outcome, and for once in this whole situation, I'm actually gonna have a tiny bit of control over something.
And you do. The light. We have chosen to walk into what is the hope that we hold for the future, the hope to get out, but also knowing that at the end of the day, we have always been taught that the darkness may be all encompassing, but as long as there is a light there, there is always hope. And that's where the star card comes in. No matter how dark it seems, no matter how angry we are, the light is always there to guide your way. The light is always there to help you while the darkness walks away. Choose a point for vengeance to lose, as she's the one that walked away while Arthur helped.
Oh no. What does she have left?
I used my senses.
You use your
So
senses.
you've got science, spirit, and strength.
Strength.
Arthur's like, thank God, fuck.
I'm gonna say the science one.
Oh man.
Okay.
Fuck your objectivity.
So as you start to walk away, Vengeance, and you're trying to
With all
find
the love in my heart,
something.
fuck your objectivity.
I love you.
I'm not angry at anybody, actually. I am more emotionally mature than that.
This is just a game. We are all aware of this.
Yeah.
Vengeance, as you walk away, as you start to try to find something else, you didn't believe in the doors. You didn't want to believe Arthur. You're like, no, we need to trust that we can make a decision ourselves to be able to get out of this situation. You're someone that has taken that choice and run with it. Someone that can make your own reality. Okay, let's make our own reality. In doing so, as you're walking along, you start to feel yourself be almost encompassed in this feeling of hope. You start to feel your body start to react to this light in the sense of, I can find what I'm looking for. I can do what I'm looking for. But in that hope also comes into the sense of wasting away the idea that logic is going to help us. And that's where the hope starts to pull that science away from you. So that's how you lose your points. However, you still have your own card. And in moving forward, you have the Eight of Swords, a card of loss, a card of longing, but a card of the future as well. While it is a card that represents the fact that we have gone through a lot of shit, everybody has gone through a lot of crap. However, we have been through situations that some are better off not knowing about, and some are not wanting to go through themselves. However, in saying that, we have always had this hope for the future. And that's where a lot of our analytical mind comes from. No matter what we have gone through, we're still here. And that's what matters. And that's how we're starting to feel moving forward. Moving forward with ourselves in this position of being able to stop playing by the rules of other people. Stop playing by the idea that other people are in charge. And as you start to walk forwards, you don't get a door in front of you, but you do get an archway. In this archway, you can see this shimmer, this almost curtain, so to speak. And as it starts to kind of almost have this light trickle down, you can see little stars appearing behind it. The question for you then is, are we moving forward into a brighter future? Or are we going to turn and help the friends that we have helped along the way?
I'm gonna help the friends.
We're going to help our friends?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Real friends are the friends we wait.
As you look towards this curtain, this veil, and the trickle of light, you can see that it does stay there for a little while longer. You have created this future. You have created this way. But at the same time, your job isn't done yet. And no matter how much you may think ahead, no matter how much you may want to survive on your own terms and make the decisions, at the end of the day, you're still human. You still worry about everybody else. You still worry about the well-being of other people. So even the decisions that you make benefiting yourself, you are always still thinking of others. And that can always be a downfall. As we move over to Arthur, your card is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a protection card. It is a duality. Again, you do have a lot of gray area to dude, but it is also a protection card. You protected Epsilon. You tried to protect Vengeance. You tried to protect your friends with the Creature of Light. And as you do, you become almost this kind of knight in shining armor, as cliche as it is. You become someone that people can be proud of. You become someone that people can be happy to be around, and a good person, even though your past is just as dark as the decisions we've had to make. No one gets to this point being as 50-50 as someone who has not experienced as much as they can. You don't get to a point where you can see both sides without having gone through them yourself. In saving Epsilon, we're good. You ain't going to make no decisions. You don't have to lose anything. You're fine for now. However, the decision then stands for you in a sense of, are you still moving forwards with vengeance, or are you still creating your own reality? Everyone go and make yourself a cup of tea while we wait for Arthur to make a decision.
I'm gonna go get the spray bottle so that I can keep this kitten off the surface that she's not allowed to be on.
Cue the
While I
Jeopardy
continue
theme
to
music. I think, in spite of knowing what I know, I also recognize that it's not just about me. And as confident as I am in what I know, they are just as much so in what they know. And I should be able to trust in my friends. So I will go with vengeance.
All right, vengeance, you don't have to walk back too far. You see that Epsilon and Arthur are coming towards you. But that feeling of frustration, that feeling of annoyance, that feeling that your friends did decide to do something else instead of just trying to get out, that frustration starts to become a point of needing to understand the difference between, am I right in wanting to get out, or are they wrong in wanting to explore? That almost like straight fire way of making the decision between wanting to do what's right and wanting to do what's correct. And that's where that frustration starts to come in, because in your mind, you're doing the correct thing. However, in them wanting to do their own thing, maybe they're also right. A lot of the frustration right now in how we feel and how we think more so comes into the understanding that we don't understand another person's mentality. We don't understand the feelings that they have, the thoughts that they make. And a lot of that then manifests itself into this idea that, am I being selfish or am I just being human? Am I being someone who can look after myself and others, or am I just making what is objectively the right thing to do? That then also starts to manifest itself in Arthur and that loneliness, that feeling that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do, you still have no control over other people's minds. You still have no control over other people's actions. People are going to make decisions whether you want them to or not. And a lot of the time we fall into the trap of being correct and then also just being a doormat. We are someone who is taken advantage of quite a bit, and that starts to bring down that loneliness. That starts to bring down that sense of, why am I still wanting to be the correct person when I'm not making any right decisions? And then Epsilon, with the anger of not being able to fall into either of these two categories, this starts to, as again, the word of the day, manifest. It starts to manifest itself in this sense that, why should I do anything? Why should I have any say in anything? Why should I bother? If at the end of the day, everybody else is just going to need to do their own thing, and I'm stuck dealing with the consequences of everybody else's actions. Why is it that I'm the one that needs to be happy and play along when no one's ever really thinking of me? So as the three of us are standing there in front of the veil, it's shimmering, it's glimmering, it's very pretty, by the way. But at the end of the day, it's also something that Vengeance has created. So Vengeance has already gone through the emotions of dealing with what could possibly be on the other side. And now it comes down to the trust of the friends and the idea of whether they want to trust them or not. So while Vengeance has created this path and will skip this round, Epsilon and Arthur make the decision of whether they want to go through it with her or whether they want to create their own way.
I feel like me trying to make stuff hasn't gone well. I'm gonna go her way. Because me
Yeah,
trying
Arthur
to
can't
make
help
stuff
himself
has
but
just
think about something
fucked
different.
me up further.
What do you want to do, Arthur?
I'm
And don't look at Vengeance's
curious.
face. She's judging you. No.
I'm curious to see what is on the other side. So yes, I will
So we're going through the veil?
pass them. Indeed.
I feel like if I tried to make a better veil, I'd just break it
Alrighty. Vengeance.
and then
Your
take
friends trust
beyond
you.
more drugs. I don't know.
Your friends trust you. They're ready to go on whatever trip you want to give them.
Do you trust
I swear to fuck if you. I swear to fuck
No,
if
I
you
do
put
not.
me on more LSD, another fucking LSD trip, I'm going to scream.
As the three
But
of
like
you
psychically in
step
your
forward.
brain, so it's like spooky and shit.
As the three of you start to step forward, you feel this wave and this energy wash over the three of you. You feel
Oh.
this sense of almost almost happiness. Vengeance is a very analytical friend, a very scientific friend, and they have been desperately trying to get out this whole time. And while that is starting to prove Arthur's fate, as we find ourselves in the middle of this very dark hallway, this very open room, there are windows along both sides, and there is this feeling of familiarity. The three of you find yourselves in a haunted house that you were taken in. The three of you find yourselves in this hallway, and the three of you see just a red flickering light over the top of you.
Cute.
The three of you notice and hear the sounds of screams from other patrons. You can hear the grunts and cry outs of the other haunt actors. But something's weird. The sounds are distant. The sounds are away from us. And while now we are in a familiar place, we're not entirely confident that we're back yet. There's a door at the end of the hallway. Just a regular wooden door, staying at the end as the light flickers over the three of you.
Maybe we're
How we
just in a
feeling?
maintenance hallway.
Yeah,
We've gone
Jerry
into
the
like
janitor
the
is gonna appear.
literally instead of Morello who comes out next, it is Jerry the janitor.
Hey, you guys shouldn't be back here.
Goddamn kids!
Yeah, I was gonna say we open the door and there's the white van.
But it's a van full of cleaning supplies. Like it's just a delivery
Formaldehyde.
van for like. I was thinking Windex, but all right.
Okay, maybe I'm a little dark.
I was gonna say, yes, cleaning supplies, formaldehyde, like the stuff we all keep under our cabinets, you know?
Yeah. Just me?
What are we
Okay.
doing?
I think so.
Alrighty, so what are you doing? Are we going through the door?
Yeah.
Are we...
See if we're actually
something
secretly in a broom closet.
Alrighty. As the three of you are going to step forward, you will notice that nothing changes. The hall doesn't stretch itself for miles. The door doesn't change or shift. And the door doesn't creak as we open it. As we open it, we do find that there are people on the other side. People that we have not met yet. People that we have no idea who they are, how they got here. They're not dressed as scare actors. They're not dressed as regular people. They are just very tall, very dark,
And very
And very
handsome. I'm
welcoming.
sorry.
They're very welcoming. You see that these men all turn to you. They kind of watch you. And you feel welcomed. You feel good. Yet that familiarity is gone.
The butlers.
What are we doing? Absalon, you want to go first?
Creepy men.
Yeah, we're still choosing the bear.
What is up with these
Actually,
guys?
okay, but honestly, that's the first human person we've seen in a minute that isn't the freaky guy from the newspaper that we are 100% certain has killed people, so...
Are we sure they're human? Are you?
Are they?
I just kind of look at him with the face that I have on right now.
Did I say something? Okay.
The men all turn to stare at the three of you.
I was
They
gonna ask for
hold out their
directions, but now I
hand.
think you've just pissed them off.
We still feel welcome. We still feel open. However, they only hold out one card. And for this round, who's taking it?
I was gonna ask him for directions, but maybe this is directions.
Is Epsilon taking the card?
Unless anybody else is feeling a particular hankering to.
I was actually going
I'm
to
gonna
say I
take
think
it.
Epsilon should.
Ha! Wow.
Epsilon,
All right. Sure, fuck it.
you grab the card. And as you flip it over, the three of you watch as these gentlemen vanish into a dust. They disappear.
Well,
The three of
that's
you watch
great.
as they vanish, there's almost like this essence in the room, this almost sense of humanity in of itself. And Epsilon, you watch as this kind of feeling, more so than a manifestation, but this emotional connection starts to become something else. The two of you are just standing there and watch as the room starts to brighten slightly. It starts to open to be a little bit bigger, and there are a couple more doors, there are a couple more sounds. Epsilon, you watch as you can hear this arguing. You can hear this sense of people needing to get out. You can hear these people screaming about, no, we need to see this through. And Epsilon, you watch as this glass shatters in front of you. It shatters backwards, so you don't have to worry about it, nothing. However, as it shatters, you watch as this person falls through, very similar to how you felt earlier. You watch as this person gets sent through this shatter, and you watch as they start to fall. While to everybody else, nothing is happening, but to you, you're watching them plummet, whilst in one place. Their mind broken, their mind out of place, their mind in a sense of mutiny in of itself. You're watching this person start to fall into this void. And with your cards being the 10 of Wands and that sense of new feeling, that sense of being green to things, yet also still being the most powerful person right now in this choice, the decision needs to be made. Do you save them?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you go back to your friends and work on yourself?
I'm not letting somebody else go through a freak-ass drug trip if they don't have to.
As you reach forward and you grab them, you pull this young lady towards you. She looks maybe late teens. You see her start to hyperventilate, start to breathe, start to calm down. And then you see her vanish. You start to feel this person's energy start to go into you, start to feel this pull inside of you.
Oh
And you
god,
start to
I'm getting
feel this-
possessed by a ghost!
And you start to feel this kind of sense of hope still. And you made a decision, and that decision saved someone. Finally, we have that hope. We have that decision that we've made something for someone else that we have done and is the correct thing to do. The other two didn't see a thing. You start to now fall into what everybody else is seeing. The room starts to expand, the lights come on, and there are more doors.
So, did you get those directions, Epsilon, or?
No, but saved some other girl from a weird falling drug trip. Get off the fucking...
Now she lives in my heart.
I'm gonna leave
Alright,
that
Kingdom
part
Hearts.
out.
Calm
Irie
down.
from Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah. Alrighty. There are 3 doors. North, east, and west, because we've come in from the south. Where are we
I'll
going?
go west.
West.
Yeah, I'm
Either
always
take
sort of
this
drawn to the
yeast.
west.
You can either take this yeast or I'm calling the police. I'm going west. If you get that reference in the chat, you are my best friend. Anyway.
Yes, please, someone in the chat, because what the fuck?
Okay.
Just smile and nod.
It's from a bit. It's called the Bread Bank. I'll show it. I'll send it later.
Okay. I was like, what?
It's
So
a
we're
whole
going
bit. It's a
west.
reference. We're going. I think west. If for real
Well,
answer, sure. Let's go
But-
west because that's closest
why west?
to west. Because
it's
it's
close-
the closest to west.
Sure. All right. Yeah. For the sake of whimsy, I like
mean,
that.
Do you have a better more? Do you have more logic? Do you want to logic this more and unnecessary?
No, I don't.
Yeah, there
You're
we go.
absolutely right. We'll go west.
Who's opening the door?
All of us, we are one being. We open the door
Hell
together. The
You know,
power of
I'm in it.
friendship.
Friendship door. Friendship door.
As you open this door, there are a couple of things that kind of come out to you. There are also a couple of things that start to feel incorrect, so to speak. As we open this door and move forward, there are many choices to be made. There are many options. There are many manifestations of how we feel. Few things are being done, and there are a few things that are happening at once. The decision being made is whereabouts we end up. I've pulled 10 cards.
Oh.
From a number between 1 and 10, let's put fate into your hands. I can assure you of the good side that only one of them is negative. Rest are good.
Watch us pick the
anyone wanna
one
play
bad
with
one.
fate? Anyone want to play with fate? Or do we want
I
to
mean, I'm having fun getting mildly psychologically tortured.
only mildly? But you're so full of whimsy that you haven't been able to think of a scientific decision yet. Although you did save one girl.
I saved a child. Question mark.
It was a killer decision. Ah, get it?
Ooh.
Now I'm confused. Are we referring to killer as in the person? Are you calling me a killer? Or are we actually saying, hell yeah, that was killer?
I don't know.
You actually killed that girl.
I just fucking, like, yanked her soul out of her goddamn body. It's mine now.
You're a
add
child
another
eater.
decision. Let's add another decision into this.
Oh no!
Arthur, my good friend.
Yes.
Person I have not met before today.
Absolutely.
No idea who you are.
Best of friends.
Long time chatter.
I'll give you a choice.
Mm.
We can, you really get a choice when it comes to the cards. You have to play. You're at 1 point left. However, if you would like to, say, offer that point, I'll pull 10 new cards.
But all the ones
And
we
you
have
can
are
skip
good
this
except for
round.
one.
Maybe he's
The
trying to say that I picked the really bad one.
The decision starts to come into the sense that a fate is unwritten.
Mm.
But at the same time, we still have agency. We still have the ability to make decisions that can benefit other people. We can also make decisions that benefit ourselves. This question to you is less about a game of D&D. This question to you is less about a sense of tarot and whimsy. And this question is less of a sense of how you move forwards compared to your friends, because you offered them the light. You created the light. You were able to manifest yourself in a way to create this ideal whimsical nature with a lot of the greenery. And you were also one that's shown that at the end of the day, you can create your own reality to escape something that doesn't make sense. So then the big decision that I have for you is, at the end of the day, with a lot of the ideals that you have put in place that the others have followed, whether they've knowingly done it or not, you have created the way out. You have created the way through things. And you have shown that reality isn't always correct. So the decision for you is, do you give up your last sanity point and essentially sacrifice yourself to pull 10 new cards for the others to maybe go through, to maybe go forwards and go on? Or do you run the risk of pulling that one negative card and losing anything anyway?
I've known which card I would choose since you said there were 10.
Okay. Vengeance, have you found a way to logic which card you want? Or you want a little bit more time for that hamster wheel to keep turning?
No, I haven't logicked. I just had one pop into my head, so.
I was gonna say roll a d10.
Yeah. Epsilon,
Hi.
between 1 and 10. Do you know what number you want? Because it sounds like Arthur's
Yeah.
making you choose.
I mean, if we do... Oh, I thought we were all picking one as a collective.
No, you'll get individual cards.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Alrighty. Arthur, what number is your card?
4.
Number 4. Vengeance, what number is your card?
6.
God damn it.
Epsilon,
I was gonna say 6. I was like, that's the one number that isn't like the 7.
It's definitely not 7.
I was like, 7 is the one that my brain went to first, but then I was like, no, 6 has been my lucky number in general, but you picked 6, so I'm picking the next best thing.
Hey, 6 was
Alright.
afraid of 7.
But yeah, 7 fucking
Because
8,
it's
9.
7, 8, 9.
6 is afraid of 7. But I'm about to watch 3 people be scared of 2. With the 2 cards being pulled, we only get to choose one. Vengeance, you took Epsilon's card. So you take one of her points.
Bitch! Not you. I'm
In-game,
that was
in-game,
at psychic.
in-game. In game.
That was a psychic.
That was a psychic.
No, me saying the call the you bitch was directed at psychic, not at you, Vengeance. You're just existing in this world. We just exist in this world. Psychic is the one that says you picked her number, you take her life.
You don't take your life unless you only have 1 point left, which I'm pretty sure you
I
don't.
don't,
You've got
but
2.
I have. Yeah, I'm gonna have 2 now, but semantics. We have my bits.
Vengeance.
It's all I have left.
Which one?
What does she have left? Sorry.
I have spirit, science, and senses.
Senses.
I was gonna say there was a perfect opportunity for you to really be Lady Vengeance here, and you didn't take it, and I respect that.
It's because I stole your
Alright.
number.
You stole my number,
Trying to
so
stop
Arthur. Arthur, you're a quick one. You're a quick and easy one for this round. You've got a card that we've already had, which is the
For
8 of
goodness
Swords.
sakes. Okay.
I gotta rank
The card of
my
hope.
freaking kittens.
The card of going through a lot of bullshit, but then finding happiness and being able to go through it in the end. I'd say that aptly describes the fact that you decided to trust that your friends will be okay, that you will be okay. But then we have Vengeance, who gets a new card. Because we love new cards. We have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is a card that represents that, at the end of the day, we're still making decisions. We're still making choices. We still get by no matter what we do. However, what comes with that is the sense that the Knight of Swords represents the choices that we make, regardless of how other people feel. Representative of the fact that we chose a card that Epsilon wanted, whether you knew it or not. But that's how this works. We don't get to decide on what we want, we just get to decide on what we have. So your choice with the Knight of Swords represents the fact that at the end of the day, regardless of what other people think and feel, you still had to make your own decision. You still made a decision for you. Sometimes that screws over other people. Sometimes it's a positive thing. So we take that into account in, technically speaking, you chose Epsilon's card, so Epsilon didn't get one. So we take a point from her. But you still made that decision for yourself. Something of a theme in this game for you, in that you've been making a lot of the decisions for yourself. You've been making a lot of the decisions to push forward. And yet everybody else has always been the afterthought. Not actually, don't, curse me or anything. But you've always made the decision first, and then we've thought about our friends after. So now it comes to what I'm calling our final round for tonight.
Oh no.
As we go through the door, we find ourselves in what looks to be this lobby area. Kind of looks like a haunted mansion, a little bit like a haunted hotel as well. You can see that there are many grand staircases all over the place. You can see that there are many doors, and you can see that there are many people. All of these people are milling around, having fun, enjoying themselves. And the 3 of you feel like you are back. The 3 of you feel like you are in a sense that you can get through this and be okay. There's only one thing left to do, and that is to leave. But we are enacting the good old horror trope of the door is locked. Actually, even better, there is no door. There's no windows. It's just a wooden room, kind of like a box, with many people inside it. And there's one feeling left, and that feeling is escape.
We've been Cask of Amontillado.
In this room, there are a lot of familiar faces. There are the faces of how we feel, there are the faces of how we think, and there are the faces of how we do things. We are watching these people act very differently. There are some that are eating some food, drinking some tea. There are some that are climbing the walls. And there are some that feel like they're crawling out of other situations, other places, whether that's cabinets, whether that's chest of drawers, whether that's anything else. But there are people coming out of things. There are people being lazy and sitting around. And there are people acting weird. As opposed to what we have experienced, this feels tame. This feels simple. And this feels like a place that we have been to before. But it also doesn't feel familiar. While that hallway was nice, the rooms were nice, we don't really know where we are. I want the three of you to explain to me how you are going to try to escape from this room, whether that's with each other or not. But then I also want the three of you to explain how you're trying to do things. How are you trying to make it through? Are you still being that logistical, analytical mind? Are you still trying to create your own reality? Or are you going to let other people make the decision for you? Do you trust yourself and your own ideals? Or do you trust your friends? What are we thinking?
Well, I'm pretty sure I remember how to get home from here. Do either of you need help getting out, or have you got your way home?
Step 1. Exit premises. Oh, wait.
No, remember, like I told you, you just open the door.
I'm going with Arthur.
Where's the door?
Going with Arthur? Everyone's going with Arthur?
Maybe I'm
Okay.
crazy, but if you trust me.
The fun question is, are we sure?
Of course not. I'm not. But that's what I'm doing.
Would you like to use a point to take charge and we pull 3 different cards? Or do you trust Arthur?
Me?
Yeah. You're the one that's spoken.
The
You're the one that
mindfuck
said
is
no
hitting me.
to trust.
I haven't changed my mind, but I'm just not
Okay,
sure
fine.
because I don't think we can be sure. But I
That's
trust
true.
Arthur.
Do we trust Arthur?
If I'm gonna be real, the answer is no, but the mindfuck is hitting me so hard that like the decision fatigue is also hitting.
So
And
what do you
I've
want to
fallen
do?
into the fuck it trap. So yeah.
Alrighty. We trust Arthur. We do. He's been a bit of a wild card. He's been a bit of a loose cannon. But we trust Arthur. We trust the one who has so far been able to create a lot of what we have been through. We trust the one who has so far been able to decide how we do things and has made a lot of the bulk decisions in the sense of creating the vast array of what we've been through. While Vengeance chose the staircase that we walked up to get to Epsilon City, while Epsilon opened the door to prove Arthur's point that at the end of the day, reality means nothing, and yet Vengeance also chose to leave to move ahead to try and find a way out. Arthur, you have also been able to make a lot of the decisions that have almost been at your own detriment. You have always made the decision that have ended in your kind of loss of sanity, in the idea that you have had to give something up in order to help the other two. As the 3 of you are walking forwards, Arthur steps forward and opens a door. The 2 of you didn't see the door there, but he opens the door and he shows that on the outside is the trees from earlier, the crooked gate that they've made look a little bit scarier for the house that they were in. And you also see that there is a couple of people milling around. There's a couple of policemen around. There's a couple of fire brigades. A couple of fire brigades, sure, why not? But there's also
The
a lot of
entire
people.
fire brigade.
The entire, like all of them. The two of you look down and you see the familiar path that you stepped up to. You see the familiar scents and you hear the sounds of the town that you three have lived in. You hear the sounds of everything that's been happening. Did the two of you walk through?
Yeah,
Alrighty.
the entire fire brigade is here.
As the two of you walk forwards, and as the two of you go forwards, down the steps, you start to work your way through the crowd. You start to feel that sense of humanity. You start to feel that touch of the people around you. This feels real. This feels correct. And this feels right. But we lost Arthur in the crowd. Or at least we think we lost Arthur in the crowd. The two cards that we have for Epsilon and Vengeance is the Six of Wands and the Four of Wands. Both cards representing that hope of being able to get through, but also being the healers. Being the ones being able to help others, being able to get through things, and being self-sacrificial. However, in this sense, Arthur pulled the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups represents the fact that at the end of the day, you're never making decisions for yourself because you are always there for everybody else. As the two of you are starting to walk down into the crowd, you start to make your way through, you come to the barricades, and the two of you are going to see, lying on the ground, is Arthur's body. His body is laying there, trying to be resuscitated, trying to be helped, and trying to be brought back. But you two saw him at the door. Turning around above the crowd, you still see him at the door. And you see him and you see him close it behind you. The two of you, in this sense, in a full deck of 78 tarot cards, got a lot of good cards. In a sense, you were able to make your way through things. You were able to get through without needing to worry. Arthur, you got a lot of self-sacrificial cards. And you got a lot of cards that made the choice of being the correct one or the right one, but still being at the detriment. The Nine of Cups represents the fact that no matter what decision you make, you are always going to come second. And in this sense, you find yourself closing the door. You find yourself walking upstairs and entering into another one. As you enter, you turn off the lights, you walk into the corner, and you take a seat. After 10 minutes, you watch as the light starts to turn on. You watch as the light starts to illuminate the room that you are in. And you find yourself in a 4-wall with no roof, tiled bathroom. Finding yourself being able to stand up in your seat and finding 2 new victims that are coming into the endless cycle of what you have been suffering.
Snap.
At the end of the day, Morello wasn't someone offering them salvation. Morello was offering you a new cycle, new people, a new way out of things. As someone who was never truly able to make a decision for yourself, he always offers it anyway. And every time, you always make the decision to help others, condemning yourself to an eternal purgatory. And thank you very much for a game. We love it. The best
That
part
was
about
fantastic.
The best part
That's
about
amazing.
it is last year they pulled a lot more bad cards. Like a lot more bad
Okay.
cards. That's why a lot of them were dying more often and using their points. Yes, the person that you pulled through was a reference to the last game because they were all playing teenagers and good friends, so you pulled Killer out. So that was a reference for that.
Oh.
But at the end of the day, the idea that I wanted to do was I trusted the cards completely. I didn't manipulate any cards that come out. I didn't re-pull any cards unless it was said to do so. And I didn't put any cards away unless you used the point. In a deck of 78 tarot cards, there are a lot of okay cards, there are a lot of good cards, and there's a lot of bad cards. On the bright side, no one pulled the Tower, which is the worst card in the deck.
Really?
The Tower card, in this sense, would instantly kill you.
Oh God.
Because all it means is destruction. But on the bright side, I did do this last time as well, and I'm going to do it for you guys as a little thank you for being a part of this experiment. I am going to pull a free card for you guys for being a part of it all. If you want it, you don't have to. It doesn't affect the card; it just affects us as a person. Just a fun little card for us.
Yeah.
You go with that?
I would love that.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. We'll start with Arthur because you carved it. Lamau.
Also, I think
He wanted
just as
it?
He carved it. He died.
carked it.
Oh,
Just
cocked.
as one
I heard cocked.
final
He cocked.
final note, I think the scene kind of ends with that me in that seat and these two new victims, and kind of that repeat of like I stand from the chair and look beside me to these two people and like, where are we? Is this a part of the haunted house? And like it kind of cuts there
While
with that repetition
Epsilon,
and
the
the cycle
character,
beginning
is
again.
yanking on the door, trying to open it.
So, as we do,
Nice.
I'm actually going to choose my main deck for this because we're doing this outside of the game. And essentially what that means is I'm going to keep shuffling and you tell me when to stop. Essentially. So I'm going to shuffle so that I'm on camera. And then we just pull the top card. And that'll be your
Arthur's going
card.
first. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going first? Okay.
Yeah, that's what he
yeah,
said.
Arthur's going first.
You were the victim, so.
Stop.
The card you have is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands do change a little bit depending on the deck as we interpret things differently. However, this card is perfect for you. In tarot, a lot of the cards that we pull represents how we feel in the moment and how we do right now. You're in, quite literally, the best position that you can be. The Four of Wands represents a happy home. It represents being happy in the house that we have. And it represents
Aw.
being in the best position that we can be in.
Oh.
That's beautiful. I love that so much.
That's so. Oh, yeah!
Fun little thing for us. Let's go with Epsilon next.
Yay! I'm gonna stop absent-mindedly sewing.
No.
That's my thing that I do to keep my hands busy so that I don't.
Yeah,
Like-
I usually have my fidget spinner and that on there.
Oh shit! I need to get me one of those. Stop now. Stop.
Okay. Epsilon, your card is
Hi.
the Wheel of Fortune.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yes, that is a good card. The Wheel of Fortune is a good card in the sense that at the end of the day, we're on an trajectory. We're on an upwards trajectory. We're starting to get into a better position of ourselves, of understanding who we are as a person and also understanding the capabilities that we have. While I will say recently, we have had to kind of quell some of the more not good things happening in the sense of we could use that as a term of cutting out some toxicity, use that term of understanding where we align ourselves in who we are as a person. The Wheel of Fortune comes in at the price. Oh my god, I have not been able to talk at all this fucking session. It comes in the way that we are coming to the end of this situation and we are able to go up from here. That upwards trajectory, whether it could be work, whether it could be our personal life, whether it could be our relationship, whether it could be anything that we interpret to be on the up and up, we are over that negative side coming out of it. We are over making the decisions for other people, and we're starting to make these decisions for us to benefit and better ourselves. The Wheel of Fortune is great, especially now coming into what is November, leading into the new year, because the new year is going to be a lot more fun for us, a lot less negativity for us, but you're making the decisions yourself. Which is also good considering, you know, the bullshit y'all fucking went through with the game. Fun times.
Oy.
Vengeance.
That one's
Oh,
like,
also,
yeah, I
also
don't know.
another thing, Epsilon.
That one's definitely.
I hope you're not planning anything, but like, yeah, I'll have to send you a message because I have a question to ask you, and I'll ask that off stream. because I need to make sure if I'm right or wrong.
Okay.
Vengeance. Hi, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great when I learn how to speak English. I've heard that.
The Poisson. When you said something, it made me think of Poisson Steve, so.
Yeah.
Stop.
We have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles used to be a card I hated, primarily because I always had trouble reading it. But the Three of Pentacles represents improvements and delays. It represents the idea that no matter how hard we push for things, sometimes we are forced to push them back. In the sense that, yes, we are doing things for ourselves. Yes, we are in probably the best position we've been in a while. But we have also had to go through so many delays, and we are still pushing things back to still before we get to that point where we are completely happy. We're at as I said, the best point that we can be. But that doesn't mean that there aren't negatives. That doesn't mean that there aren't bullshit that we got to deal with. There's people that we still got to deal with, etc. But we are in the best position that we can be because we know that the decision that we make is the correct one for us. And at this point, I'm going to be honest, I don't care about other people. I don't care about what they think of this. I don't care about how they feel about it, because at the end of the day, you are worrying about yourself. You are looking at yourself. And if they don't like it, they can deal with it. You spend a lot of your time being that person for others, and Arthur is also very guilty of it. You are that person that is going to be the helpful one. You're the one that people come to for help. If they've got issues, they can talk to you. You know that. But this is starting to come into the time where you start needing to be a little bit more selfish and start needing to be that person that says, okay, cool, I can help you, but you need to give it a bit. I need to do something else first, and then I can help you out after. We need to start putting ourselves first a little bit more than we do. But at the end of the day, you're never going to be someone that's going to turn away someone. You're never going to turn away a friend in need. You just need to be able to pick your battles and pick who you can and can't help at this time. Because sometimes these battles start to affect your own mind because we've been through that, but they're not listening to the experience we already have. So instead, saying, give it some time and come back to me later, instead of just a no, it can help us. And because we're in a better position, we're in a better mental capacity to be able to handle that same tragic or trauma that we have already been through, because we're watching other people go through it at once. So improvements, however, we need to keep pushing things back. Yay! So, Wolf, I've been hearing you giggle this whole time.
He cracked me up every time
Okay,
I heard him chuckling in the background.
So here's the thing. Here's what my dumbass did. Okay. Well, you all heard that. I remembered to mute myself on stream, but just realized maybe 5 minutes ago that I had forgotten to mute myself on Discord. So yeah, you probably heard everything
I mean, all I wanted was periodic chuckling and possibly comments from the peanut gallery, and so that.
Yeah, literally.
Sorry.
Yeah, at least you weren't like, oh, what a dumbass.
Oh my god, that was fucking stupid. Damn.
I was. Yeah, I like looked and I was like,
what is wrong with you now?
I muted
Never
it. And I was
having
like,
them on
wait.
again.
Some of the shit was legitimately funny. But the stream didn't get any of that. They didn't get any of that. So, I had fun though. I mean, I this was more fun for me not being in it because last year it was intense, and I what did you say? Cocked it? I don't know what you said.
Cocked it.
Yeah.
Cocked it.
So not
At the
but
end of the day, as I said, last year you guys pulled a lot of negative cards.
yeah, ours
and there was
seemed to go bad.
A lot more choices in how you go through things. Whereas you guys didn't have a lot of major arcana. You guys had a lot of minor arcana, which is the numbers and the suits. So you guys had less of an impact in how you did a lot of things, but there are still some negative minor cards. There were still obviously the choices that were made. There was still obviously the morality of it all. But at the end of the day, this one did
Epsilon's
go a lot
LSD
less.
trip.
Yeah, Epsilon's LSD trip. But this game was definitely a lot less deadly in the sense of what happened, because the cards just didn't come out that way. The only one that really died, so to speak, is finding Arthur's body and him restarting the cycle being a passenger through the void.
That was a pretty cool twist. I liked that. I
And
liked that a lot.
That was good.
Epsilon is now possessed by a teenage girl.
Yeah,
Hell
you're now
yeah.
possessed by teenage killer, which is
That's
a
fair.
terrifying thing.
That's a terrifying thought.
I just wanted to
this
have
isn't-
like a
Yeah,
little reference to
let's
it.
not mix the two of them. I don't think the world could handle it.
That's supposed to fucking mean.
I don't know.
You want to say that to my face, motherfucker?
Where's,
Okay.
I just
where's my
did.
popcorn?
Arthur and I
kidding.
suddenly have somewhere to be.
Did we have fun though? Did we have fun? This was
Oh,
very
yeah.
unique.
so
Absolutely.
fantastic! Yeah, that
It
was
was
great.
amazing.
Thank you again for
I'm-
running this psychic. It's always fun to see your take on this. It's a very
Yeah.
interesting system that pretty much only you could run,
Yeah.
at least on this channel.
Unless you're a psychic IRL. Any psychics in the chat?
Yeah, anybody can run it. So I will give a little tidbit. Tarot started back in with the gypsies. The gypsies began it as a fun pastime. Of a nighttime, they would all gather around as a family and they would pull cards and they would have a lot of fun. It only started being, I think, around the 17 to 1800s, to where people started using it as a sort of divine intervention tool, and was part of a way that was used as a way to find the witches through time, and started to become a lot more negative through that stuff. But yeah, it originated with the gypsies. It originated for fun. Anybody can run this if they want to with their friends. Obviously, one, you need a deck of tarot cards, and someone needs to know how to read them. Because as I said at the start, this is purely the worst part of a psychic reading, specifically used to attack the players, to fuck with them mentally. That's what it is. But you still need to know how to read the cards. You can't just pull the tower and wipe out Arthur. As funny as that would be.
Yeah, someone in the chat
Confronting me
said
about
too.
that god complex was like, I felt that in my core. I was like, damn,
okay,
call me out.
I got you. I clocked you immediately. And I was like, fuck, I got this bitch. He's easy. Vengeance took me a little bit to get into. It took me a little bit because I see people like you all the time, in the sense of you're always that helpful person, but you're very analytical, and you're like, if I can't trust my own actions, then how am I going to trust the outcome that comes from them? But a lot of your, like, the way that I was reading you and a lot of the way the decisions that you made was pushing forward the mentality of you being that selfish decision maker and then worrying about your friends, because you need to trust yourself first and then you can trust others. So I was pushing that kind of ideal that if you didn't trust yourself, your friends weren't going to follow you, kind of a feeling. Epsilon, I want to do a reading for you separately sometime, because your cards gave me nothing. Like,
She did say she was emptying her mind at the beginning.
like, a lot of it, I did like, there were parts where I was like, yes, I'm gonna creep into this bitch's mind, I'm gonna fucking tear her apart. And then like you got like hope, brightness. I'm like, fuck you.
It's that
How
loading
dare.
screen. When she goes into the loading screen mode, it short circuits your cards.
I was like, god damn it. But no, Arthur, you're
dial-up
a
internet
fucking open
noises.
book, man. You're a Disney book. You're easy as hell.
I make no real efforts to hide myself. I
No.
wear my heart on my sleeve.
As
I
Jesus
enjoyed
When you
would.
were,
that.
Enigma.
I enjoyed
when
that.
you were pulling that last card for me, I was like, how great would that be if you pulled like the tower or something as the last card?
And we all just fucking die.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
someone in the chat said
We're like-
that too.
Okay. Oh, I
We
didn't
miss it.
see that.
We missed it the whole game, and then yeah, Strela said it. Somebody pulls it and just dies on camera, and I was like, well, that would be a very Halloweeny way to end this.
I would also be very rich and on a
I feel
list.
like dying on stream would probably be
Ooh.
against TOS, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like
Maybe a little bit.
yeah.
That's okay. I'm psychic. I'll just tell them I'm interpreting for you. You're fine.
Not
Just
good.
turn the camera off.
Not good for the algo.
No, I'd edit that part out. I'd edit it out. Well, before I put it on YouTube.
Why? It's so dramatic.
Or yeah, no, make it
Loving
on the
memory
thumbnail.
of.
Someone dies for real, like the big thumbnail splash.
Not
You know.
clickbait.
Me on the cover going,
And then at the end, just put like those crosses over my eyes.
yeah.
Like a Danganronpa fucking portrait.
So we had fun.
Yeah.
Everybody enjoyed their time tonight. Hope so.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yep.
I had
Yes.
fun, as you probably could tell. Those of you that could hear me. Sorry again about that. I know that was just,
No, that was perfect. That's what I wanted.
I turned my camera off so I wouldn't be distracting, and then I ended up being distracting anyway.
May
You
as well
weren't
have just kept it on.
distracting. You just spiced up the vibes.
I
Oh, good.
almost at one point, because everything was going so well, I almost at a point was going to message you and be like, yo, you got to come in here and fuck these people up. I swear to God, if they get more good cards, I'm going to use you.
Well, I was here. I was on standby.
Ah, well.
Okay. Do you have anything else, Psychic, or anybody that you want to say tonight?
What
One of
is
these days-
your reality? Put it in the comments.
Yeah. There
What
we
do you
go.
think? Read Epsilon, because apparently the cards gave Psychic nothing. So just I don't know. What is Epsilon?
Call her a
Define.
nerd.
Define
I think Epsilon was so distracted by her cat that she couldn't focus.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
Literally-
it. You were reading the cat.
Literally,
not
I
That's
had to
it,
shut
yeah.
them out of.
Yeah.
Literally had to shut them out of the room because they were being such fucking menaces.
The ADHD is real.
Yeah. I like the idea that he was reading the cat. That's the person.
Yeah.
Food.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
gonna
really.
Pure
look at my
evil,
dogs.
Hope.
anger, and then a little bit of hope. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at my dogs and be like, "What the fuck is going on with your mind, you little shits?"
Oh my God.
Can I
Oh.
can I say just one thing?
Sure.
It's my son's birthday today, and he might want.
Yay! Happy birthday!
So happy birthday.
Happy birthday, son!
Oh
Son
my
of
god,
vengeance!
it was Arthur's child's birthday not long ago.
Yeah, like literally
was.
2
Yeah.
weeks and a day ago.
Yep.
We've had a lot of
And
birthdays this week.
my kidkin's birthday was Monday, so yeah, like lot this week.
Oh, hey.
Everyone's
Happy birthday to
birthday is in
Kidkins.
October. This is awesome.
So
So
shout out
happy
to
birthday to Vengeance's son,
all the children out there. Happy
Mhm.
birthday.
Although, what sign is it this month?
Libra.
Yes,
Shout out to the
Unfortunately.
Libras.
Libras. I should know
Shout
that,
out to the Libras.
but I don't. I only
That
know my
sounded
own.
so. Ugh, Libras.
It's like, shout out to the Libras.
October is a very popular month for babies, apparently, because I've literally been doing nothing on the weekends but going to kindergarten birthday parties. So
Everybody
God.
gets busy in January, I guess.
it's cold, I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know.
Hey.
Yeah,
Happy New
Valentine's
Year.
Day isn't
Ooh.
far off.
really.
All right, everybody. Thank you again for hanging out, Psychic. This was great as always. Thank you for running.
Thank you, Psychic.
We are not done
Thank
yet. We've got
you.
2 more streams this week. Walking Dead had to get rescheduled from yesterday, so it will be tomorrow night instead. So be sure to check that out. It will be pretty much a direct continuation of last year's. You won't have to watch
I've
that one
been-
if you didn't, though. So, are you ready? Are you ready?
You should
Epsilon
watch it
is in that one.
anyway.
You
Yeah,
should.
yeah. I'm in that one. You need to watch the one from last year because there will be I will be referencing so much stuff. I have been fiending for this for the entire year.
It's true. It's true. I've been getting questions like once a month from at least one of them.
I
and we-
miss Rain. I miss Rain.
And we are adding Fishy. Fishy will be coming back. Fan favorite. Fishy's going to be in our Walking Dead game tomorrow.
Hey.
And
I
then
love
this
Fishy.
weekend we have Mothership, right? That would be Saturday.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm so upset. I've got to miss it. It looks fun. Oh well.
it's.
I'm gonna
I
get-
just threw.
Absolutely fucking trolleyed on the weekend, so I'm good.
Yeah, you can watch the stream while trolleyed and have a double good time.
watch my friend walk down the aisle, and I just watch someone die. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Pull us up on
I'm
your
just
phone.
like,
That's-
so your friend walks down the aisle and I'll be like, and you fell into a pit in a crater and died
It's like, yes.
on the moon.
Sweet.
On
Just
Epsilon 14.
Make
which
sure
is an
you
asteroid, not a moon.
make sure you put your headphones in. Otherwise, people might get pissed at you. Or don't. I don't care. Just give me some subs. You know, do that. Be like, what are you doing? You're like, oh, I'll tell you. I'm watching Wolfkinz Tabletop.
We've got this
Not
awesome
even-
horror
Wolfkinz
event
isn't
going
even
on
the-
right now.
On YouTube.
Wolfkinz wouldn't even be the one GMing. It's Epsilon, and she's in a bunch of shit.
She is in a bunch of shit.
And
But
next
this next week we got a lot of stuff too, and I don't think this is the last time we're seeing you, is it, Arthur? You're in a couple more things, right? Okay.
Just the one more. Yeah, I'm on.
Just-
I'm in Daggerheart on Monday.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, that's
Yes.
right.
I was like, are you in Mosh? I couldn't remember, but
Okay. But and then Vengeance, are you in anything else?
Nope, that was it for me.
Well, we've loved having you. Thank you
Well,
for being part of
would
this.
that be-
You got to come back though.
Maybe they're open.
I think
to
we could use. I think
another
now that
game
we.
next week.
What's next week? Oh, you're talking about Blood on the Clock
Next
Tower?
week, Blood on the Clock Tower.
So
Uh,
that one
Is that code for
I don't know.
that's
I
very
don't
cool
know
if
too
you wanna
much about
join,
that
there's
game.
no limit. The limit is
yeah.
10 people. It's basically like Werewolf Mafia, Town of Salem.
So we still have open slots for that one. That one's next
It
Thursday.
is going to be open right up until the end.
Okay. Let's keep it in mind. If anybody's interested, just keep it in mind. With
That's
that
Thursday?
though, next Thursday.
Yes.
I will be on an international flight.
Yeah, you're leaving us. That's
Yeah.
fine. We know.
How dare.
Anyway, we will see you all very soon. Thank you all again for hanging out, for playing. Thank you all in the chat for sticking around with us tonight. We will see you back here tomorrow for some Walking Dead. Have a good night, everybody.
Yay!